Pillow talking with Leak and Lucy. We in between the sheets. Turn off the lights. Not playing. Hey y'all.
What's up?
Okay, so we're gonna be talking about
Conflict resolution.
Yeah, we're gonna talk about conflict resolution in a relationship.
What about it?
What do we do when we have conflict? And what works for us?
I already think we'll be having like we had a couple of spats.
I would say we bicker. I don't say like we argue. We might like. It don't even be a whole argument. Like nobody yells, nobody fusses, nobody like we use. I feel so it's more so like we have many disagreements.
So yeah, we had little disagreements, and then eventually we always do end up working it out in a civil manner, and that's one of the things that I do love about our relationship. Like really, like how we deal with it, and the fact that we can talk about it, address it, and then move on pretty quickly, and then not have those things come up in the relationship again. But if you ask me, I don't really know the steps on what we actually do to like get there.
I don't know. I mean,
I feel as though like it's just certain rules. Like you gotta be respectful. We don't we're not raising our voices at each other. We're not calling each other out our names. Like that's just basic stuff that you should just be doing anyway.
we don't invalidate. What is it?
Invalidate
Each other. Is I'm saying it right?
Invalidate.
Emotions. Yeah, we don't make
Yeah.
our emotions and what we saying feel like, oh, you know what you're talking about. I don't hear that. Like, I feel like we hear each other out. And we'll just talk it out. And another thing is that I like that you do is you don't just let it, like, you won't just be like, all right, I don't care. You and your pussy, I don't give a damn. I don't care what you're talking about. Most of the time we have like a disagreement, you be quick to be like, well, let's talk about it. Well, or you'll be like, well, I understand what you're saying, but I feel as though you don't just be like, and I have a problem with it. I had Tinder like shut down. Sometimes I need to work on it, but you are more so, let's talk about it. Let's discuss it. When you ready to talk, let's talk.
Yeah, it's not good to have unfinished business.
Yeah.
How you laughing?
Good. It's not, but like I be quick to laugh. I don't feel like talking. I don't want to talk right now. I'm over it. But then I have to realize that it's not just about me. It's about us. So if you want to discuss, you want to talk about it. But then a lot of times, like I be having to get my words together because I don't want to say something out the way that I'm gonna regret. So I need to like get everything I want to say together so it sounds right. So I be needing time to get my thoughts together, my thought process together. You know.
I feel like something I still struggle with as far as like conflict resolution is like something happens and then me addressing it like 2-3 weeks later, and then I'm like, remember that thing that happened, and then I don't even really know the details, and I'm like, I can't even explain to her like what really happened. So like
You basically did it too.
Yeah, I think it's okay to take like a couple hours or even a day, but like sometimes I just like not bring. It's not even really like it was like mine, like little minute, very like small stuff. But I be like, yeah, I really didn't like that thing you did.
It was like 3 weeks ago. They're like, what did I do?
And then I'm like, I don't know, but you did do something.
It's like you been
irritated me
for 3
something.
weeks.
I wasn't harping on it. It's just like I didn't speak on it now, and then it's like, okay, now there's maybe, I don't know, I just thought about it. So it's like, let me say something, but I can't even tell her the scenario no more. So
Yeah, he done that to me. He done that to me a few times. Matter of fact, just did it a couple of weeks ago. I'm just like, what do you mean? You don't like joy? But okay.
yeah, like, okay. It's like you definitely want to address it the sooner the better, because
baby, I'm gonna ask questions. Like I want to know, like,
yeah,
what do you mean?
And I'm gonna start forgetting stuff.
Yeah, that's what I'm like. You should. That's why I be trying to tell them all the time. Tell me when it's happening. Don't wait like a couple of weeks and then, because you know I'm gonna ask you, what you mean? Why do you feel that way? Like, what did I specifically say? What did I specifically do? You just be like, I don't know. It's just why I tell you when you do it again? You need to address it right then and there, because I'm gonna ask. I want to know why do you feel that way? Why do you feel like I made you feel that way? All this stuff. I'm gonna ask questions like, but yeah.
Then I feel like another key as far as like conflict resolution with us, I know I do it, I feel like you do it too, but it has to be a balance. If we're in a relationship and I feel like I'm always right, if I feel like I'm always right, that's not gonna help with conflict resolution. And if I feel like I'm always wrong, I'm always the one to fuck up or mess up, you know what I'm saying? That's like, any of those absolutes or any of those extremes is not gonna be good for conflict resolution. What you think?
Yeah, because like you gotta take accountability for what you do. I understand what you're saying too, because I don't always be right. You don't always be right. So it's like that would be conflict avoidance. Like it's like I'm always right, so I'm gonna dismiss her feelings, or I'm always wrong. So then you never it's never resolved because then I went and acknowledged when you was wrong. You know what I'm saying? So on both ends, you can't do that. Yeah, you can't. Cause I feel like it just doesn't work. But because we had an incident with that earlier, like how we just end up saying, well, I understand what you're saying, and you understand what I'm saying, and you can do what you please as far as this and this, but as far as when it comes to me, I don't want to. So like, but I felt like I was wrong for saying, oh, you shouldn't do this, or I don't want you doing this. I can't tell you what to do. Like, you do what's best for you, and yeah, as long as it doesn't interfere with our relationship, just what it is.
Yeah, and then I also feel like maybe the statement agree to disagree, because you're not really agreeing to disagree. You understand to disagree. I feel like that would be a better statement. Agree to disagree is just like, I still believe what I believe, you still believe what you believe, and then we just disagree. And if it's no understanding on either part, then the conflict will never be resolved either. So it's like, I have to understand you and either agree or disagree. So I feel like keep that in your book.
And don't just be like, because I said so. So because I want it this way, or no, it's not. It's good for you to explain and, express how you feel and listen to both people's sides and come to a common ground if you can. I feel like we do that. We come to like a common solution, like how we was like earlier. It's like, well, this is how I feel, blah, blah, this is how I feel. And he was like, well, I understand where you're coming from. I was like, I understand where you're coming from too, but that's just not the way I would want to deal with it.
And that's my disclaimer. You heard it from Leap first. Understand to disagree. We can write a book. Understand to disagree.
Yeah, I understand where he was coming from, but that's just not the way I would deal with the situation. Yeah. So like, if that's how you want to deal with it, that's the way you can deal with it. But that's just not how I would. So, and I can't change how you would deal with it because you're not me. And like you said, we got totally different backgrounds. This to happen in our life. This is why we do it this way. So I can't expect you to always agree with what I feel.
And then especially like as a couple, it's like some stuff we gotta compromise on. So like, I feel like for a good conflict resolution practice is like, okay, so first, depending on who is the matter, but first I'm gonna understand your point, and then we're gonna understand my point, and then we're gonna figure out how we're gonna mediate this. But if the whole time you're explaining your point, I'm trying to, it's like not listening, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta be an active listener. So even if I interject or I'm asking questions, like when I'm talking, I'm still trying to understand your point. Only after you understand what you're saying, I'm understanding what I'm saying, then we can like flip it and try to figure out where I was coming from, or this is what I'm understanding. Then we can come to like a compromise.
Yeah. And I feel like that's how we solve our. But it's easier to like do conflict when you don't have a lot of conflict. Like,
just don't have the conflict.
Just don't have the conflict in the first place. Cause like, I know some of the stuff, like if we learn each other, like I know like what he don't like, or if we spoke up like, well, I don't like you do this, so I try not to do it, and like I be mindful of, well, if I do this, you don't feel the same way, or so I try not to like do certain things, and especially if it's not, I don't know, it's simply said and done, especially if you have a partner who is just like you just be alright. You don't have a lot of conflict, you just be alright.
Yeah, and I'm a pretty considerate person anyway, and I try to be very considerate of your feelings and like just being in the same space and just I try to be a considerate person.
You do.
So,
And I try to be too, as much as I can be. But I know sometimes I can be a little. So I try to be that. He's way more, than I am. Like,
that was really strong. Yeah.
because I know, and I be trying to learn. Because even April did it the other day, which I didn't mean to do that on purpose. Like when we was doing like the pumpkin photo shoot, and you had handed me something, and April was like, "Thank you," and I was like, "What?" But I was like, "Yeah, I should have said thank you."
What you mean?
I don't know what she was doing, but April was just like, "Shamanda."
Like, why didn't you say thank you?
Yeah, but it's just like maybe because I try to say thank you every time you do something for me.
I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about like.
But I'm just saying like how other people might view it as like me just being like, cause you do a lot for me. You do a lot, and maybe I don't know. Maybe it's just based on other people's relationships because other people's relationships don't go that way or whatever. And it's like you should appreciate. I do appreciate him. I appreciate him. I love him.
Sure. Yeah, she
All the time.
appreciates me a lot. So maybe that has a lot to do with conflict resolution. You gotta appreciate and respect your partner as well.
I do. We do. Yeah.
Got any other tidbits?
Not right now, babe. You hungry?
Hey, we is on camera doing the video.
I'm not
We
bad.
talking about funny.
Okay.
You just having a regular old conversation.
Okay.
You got any other tidbits for the people on how we do conflict
Just
resolution?
love each other, take care of each other, cherish each other. Don't take each other for granted. Just I feel like get up every day and strive to be happy. Like I said the other day, like I wake up and I choose to be a fairy tale princess with a quirky sense of humor. That's the way I want to live my life, okay? I choose to be, I get up every day thinking, baby, this about to be a good day. This about to be a good life. I love my life, baby. If people can say, oh, you delusional, baby, I'll be delusional. I'll be delusional. It is what it is, baby. I'm happy over here in this delusion. Okay, so just, and I hate when people say that, oh, you can't have, yes, you can. Why you can't? Why I can't? If I want this to be a fairy tale, that's what it would be. Okay, like why I can't? So yeah.
My last tidbit would be, and I think this helps with a lot with our conflict resolution because subconsciously I've been doing this, but now I just thought about it. If we come into conflict, I never go into it thinking it's me versus her, and that go back to the active listening and understanding. I understand where she coming from. Now I gotta understand where I'm coming from. But it's not me versus her. It's us versus the problem. Mm-hmm. So that's the goal of conflict resolution is you have this conflict and how are we gonna get to this resolution? So especially as a man. I gotta go there. Especially as a man.
Okay.
Especially as a man.
What does that have to do with?
As an adult
that can communicate efficiently their emotions and stuff.
I'm not going there.
Okay, man.
I'm talking about being problem solvers.
Okay, me and being problem solvers.
This is the problem and it needs to be solved.
That's why I sent you that video the other day too.
What?
I mean that video the other day when it was like, girl. When the girl was like, yeah, I can be an independent woman, but if my man there, I be expecting him to solve all my problems. I sent you that. Be like, I have any problem, I'm gonna call my man, even though I am an independent woman, but if I have a problem, I'm gonna call my man to see how we can solve this problem. Not saying that she can't solve it on her own, but it's just the fact that if you have the type of man who is always trying to solve your problems for you or help you and assist like how you do, you like, I'm gonna figure it out. I got it. I'm gonna figure it out.
And another thing for the band, if y'all watching and y'all made it this far, you can't problem solve feelings. So don't misconstrue what I'm saying. You can't solve feelings, but yeah, you can solve the problem in conflict resolution. So
because I remember that one versus the problem. Exactly. I remember that one day we was at the water park and we waited too long and I wanted a funnel cake. and I was just like, I was just like, my funnel cake. And you started looking up places around that had funnel cake, and then you was like, oh, it ain't got for the scissors. Okay, so we can make it at home. You were just looking up everything you could to solve my problem of me not having the funnel cake. But luckily, before we left the park, it was a place that was still open selling funnel cakes, and we got one. But he was looking up every solution on how I can get my funnel cake because
That's a good story. We're gonna end it like that. Get on the high note.
Yeah, and he always do stuff like that. And I can just mention something, he just, yeah, he pays attention. Love him.